All right, today we're going to talk about chord scales, remembering that chords come from scales, and when you so if you want to spell a chord like a C major chord, for instance, it's spelled from the notes of the C major scale, C, E, and G, the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the C major scale. But all of the other chords that are in the scale are also spelled from the C major scale. Effectively, what is happening is it's like looking at three scales at the same time, each starting on a different point in the C major scale. So we would have the C major scale starting on C, C major scale starting on E, and the C major scale starting on G. And then we're going to put them all together and play them harmonically. And that's what we have here in this bottom diagram, and I'm going to do that for you right now before we split these up into string sets. C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and C. So as you can hear, it sounds like a scale. What you're doing is, as I said before, playing three scales at the same time. Each one of the notes in these triads start on a different degree of the scale. So then you get a chord scale. Not only do you get a chord scale, but you also get the chords that belong to the key, diatonically speaking. So the chords in the key of C major are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. If you take away the letter names, those same chords will happen in every major key. They would always happen major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and then back to major. Okay. Now we're going to split it up into string sets so that you can learn this on the fretboard. And in order to fill up the string set, we're going to start on an A minor. So that's on the 6th degree of the scale. So A minor. And then we move to the next chord, which is a diminished, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and then A minor. The same chord that we started with at the beginning. Then back down, why not? A minor, G, F, E minor, D minor, C major, and B diminished, and then A minor. And each one of these is a 3-note chord, a complete 3-note chord, right? All the notes that we need are in the chord. Right? There are no other notes that we need, but there are no duplicated notes, as you would find, for instance, in bigger chord forms. Right, those are all just, those 3 chords are just triadic chord forms, except they have duplicated notes, right? In this case, like for instance, A minor, I have an A, an E, another A C, and another E. Right, and here I don't have any duplicated notes. It's just a 3-note chord triad. Right, and these triads are especially important when you're wanting to break down the fretboard and use use them to. Triads can be used beautifully for soloing and just generally understanding the fretboard and how everything fits together. Okay, and let's just move to string set 2, the same idea. Again, we're going to start on E minor this time, the 3 chord, C, D, E. Then we go to the F, to the G, to the A minor, to the B diminished, to the C, D minor, E minor, like the one we started with, right? F, back down, E minor, D minor, C, and then diminished, and then back to E minor. Okay, so those are the chords in the key in on string set 2. In other words, the strings 2, 3, and 4. So this all is excerpted from a book I wrote called Guitar Triads. If you really want to dig into the meat and potatoes of what triads are, oh yeah, I should plug that. Guitar Triads, you can be building a functional understanding of chord construction. And it definitely does do that. And you can pick it up on Amazon. We'll have a link in the description below. So, back to triads. Why bother learning triads? Well, triads are chords, right? It's like this is a polyphonic instrument. It's designed to play chords. But what most guitar players tend to do is they get a picture of some kind, like a drawing of the chord, and they put their fingers in the right place, and bada bing, they've got a chord. But there are real shortcomings to doing things that way, and this starts to build chords up from the bottom up, so you understand them in terms of their where they originate, how they evolve out of scales. This is just the way music works, and it'll greatly help your understanding and your playing once you get a grip on triads. So in this session, I only took a look at the triads on string sets 1 and 2, but in the book it proceeds to string sets 3 and 4, thereby covering all the root position triads in one key all over the fretboard. Naturally, these same chord forms, these same chord voicings will repeat themselves in all other keys as well. So you learn them in one key, you're effectively learning them in other keys. Of course, they're going to feel different, but it's the same stuff. These are root position triads, root position chords, because the root or the naming note of the chord is in the lowest voice. The next thing that we will look at in another session is a first inversion triad to begin, or first inversion triads. In other words, root position is, for instance, C, E, G. And if I take that C and I put it to the top, now I have a first inversion. My E is on the bottom this time, right? And I've got a spelling, a voicing of E, G, and C. And then if I remove that E up to the top, an octave higher, and now I've got a second inversion of G, C, and E. And I can take that inversion and move it up the fretboard in first inversion or second inversion triads, which we'll get to in another session. Okay, so that was root position triads through think the C major scale, and everything is coming out of the scale of C major. Remember that you're looking at the same order of chords in every major key. Get rid of the letter name, and then what you have is major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished in every key. The 7 chords in a major key, each one corresponding to one of the 7 notes in the scale. All right, that's it for today. If this was a help for you, click like, click subscribe. We're actually getting quite a few subscribers. I'm really psyched about that, like, because it's nice to know that I'm speaking to guitar players, and so let us know if this helps you. I really love to hear from guitar players. And if there's anything, a direction you'd like us to take, or if there's something that you'd like to learn, please let us know. I'm actually working on a couple of things that I've had requests to do, and so I have to work on them just a little bit in order to bring them up to snuff to do a video. All right. Well, thanks a lot, and great of you to stop by, and we're going to see you again real soon, I hope.